Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Michelle Languages podcast. Today's episode is going to be about the importance to challenge yourself while learning a language. Well guys, learning languages, I think it's already a challenge itself, because you actually tackle with something new. You also get to overcome your fears, especially when you're trying to speak a language. But the biggest challenge itself, I think, is learning a new language, especially if it's a language that is completely different from the ones that you already studied or you already speak. Like, for example, my mother tongue is Italian, and I don't have that many difficulties in learning Spanish or French and probably Portuguese, but it's always a different language. So of course it's unique. There are idiomatic expressions and the grammar can be different. Words can overlap in your brain, which happens a little bit too often, in my opinion, and in my case. But so it's a challenge, but not really that challenging. But I studied Japanese at university, so that one is a real big challenge. And I'm also studying Korean through Japanese, so that one is even a bigger challenge. So yeah, challenge yourself is already part of the game of learning languages. But I would like to share with you some thoughts and some opinions that I developed during the years of why challenging yourself is important, and you should give a little bit of attention to challenges in language learning. So when you want to learn a language, so you're challenging yourself. And I already said that thousands of times, but the concept is really important. So I would like to stress it a lot, like in caps lock, like challenging yourself. So when you're learning a language, you always think of a main direction. Where do you want to go? You want to be fluent, like C1, C2. This means like academic level. So you want to use the language for a specific purpose. You want to be able to read your favorite novels in their original language. So you need to develop some specific skills that you want to be conversational fluent. But your main direction can change with time because your goals and the idea of learning that language may change. Life is life. Everything can change like in a matter of a couple of days, also of a couple of minutes sometimes, but I'm not here to argue about this. So setting goals is really, really important. And what I would like to tell you is, so to set a general direction, as I said previously, that is like your ultimate goal. But then when you want to actually take action, But when you want to take action, you should actually plan for a short period of time. Just for a short amount of time. It can be a day or it can be a week. These are the two options that I highly always recommend. Because life is life. I would like to tell you that once again. Plans can change in a matter of a couple of minutes. So, try to plan in a more or less detailed way what you'd like to accomplish during the day or the week, and stay flexible. Because if you don't actually have the time to manage everything you plan out, you will get stressed, you will lose your motivation, and you will probably burn out, which is something that we should avoid. It can happen. It happens all the time. At least I get burned out pretty easily, unfortunately, but I'm trying to overcome this kind of mindset in my daily life. So it's really important to set goals that can be divided into a small workload that you can arrange in tasks, and you can distribute those tasks day per day, basically. And you can be detailed as much as you want, but adopt the mindset that everything can change in the blink of an eye, but be sure and adopt the mindset that everything can change in a matter of minutes. So stay flexible, be chilled with your language learning. It's not a race. We're not a team. This is a competition. No, guys. It's not a competition. Even though it's a challenge, it's not a competition. I hope you get the reference, guys. But because I think that language learners are a team. We learners are a team. But maybe we can discuss about this in a future episode. I just had an idea. That's amazing. Anyway, part of the challenges of learning languages is trying something new. Like, for example, a new approach of learning a language. For example, I used to be very a kind of traditional student, because I've always learned languages at school. So I'm like a huge fan of textbooks, But maybe you can learn something new in a different way. Like, for example, watching some YouTube videos, watching TV shows, or watching stuff on Netflix, and just write down the words and the expression that you don't know. So you can also focus on different areas, like, for example, vocabulary or idiomatic expressions, and you just write them down, It's a new way. So you can also challenge yourself with changing the approach with which you study language. This allows you to step out of your comfort zone, acquire motivation, acquire confidence, which is extremely important when you want to learn a language. You also can try challenges that you can find on the net. For example, in the Instagram community, there are several challenges that their creators create new ones. Like, for example, my friend Chloe is hosting a challenge, which is really, really cool. But guys, I'm terrible with keeping up with this kind of challenges. So I'm really, really sorry. I'm not the best example, but what can I say? This kind of challenges that you can find on the net can be like general ones, or they can have a theme. Like, for example, there was some time ago, there was a challenge that was called 30 years of 30 days. Shell, come on. 30 days of recording or speaking with yourself. I do not remember the correct name. So this challenge was aimed at improve your speaking skills through recording yourself. You could do that in your stories, you could do that on your post, you could show your face or not. Everything was totally up to you, but the main focus was to help you acquire more confidence and to improve your speaking skills, your speaking abilities with your target languages. So this kind of challenges, I would like to summarize the point, can be general, can have a theme, or they can be a mix and match. So they can combine different skills like speaking, writing. So there are different kinds of challenges. You just have to explore. So it's really, really, really interesting. Last but not least, I would like to share you a personal tip that is heavily related to setting goals and planning your language learning, especially the routine. But also, setting a routine is a challenge because you actually are trying to complete the task that you write down. So that one is already a challenge, especially during these days that we are highly unmotivated. We're always locked inside our house, so it can be quite overwhelming, thinking that we have to accomplish something. But we can manage to do that day by day, just one or two simple tasks that require like 5 minutes, like revising 5 minutes your flashcards, you know, if you use those kind of apps like Memrise or Quizlet. So you don't have to aim at hours of studying, you can just do simple things. But what I would like to tell you, especially in those times, is to set few tasks, just 1 or 2 per day. You don't have to do an insane amount of things in order to study language, but you have to stay consistent. So allow yourself to relax, maybe for one day, like on, I don't know, Saturday or Sunday, if you also plan to call your friends like on Zoom. So just allow yourself to relax a bit, but do that like the smallest amount of homework almost on a daily basis. In this way you will improve. I know probably you will improve slowly, but you will be consistent, which is amazing. And you will notice with time that actually it worked and it helped you a lot. So for me, consistency more than studying for long hours is the key of successful learners. Okay guys, I hope that you like this episode and see you next week. Bye guys.